to GREYS, your one-stop shop to finding winners across Australia from the world of greyhound racing. Host David Shortte is joined by Hall of Famer Neil Brown, Jason Campbell to look at Queensland and Tasmanian chasing, Sean Matheson looking at South Australian chasing, New South Wales expert Simon Orchard, and the Shane Train Williams rounds it out with his key plays and kennel mail in WA. Now, over to the team for this week's edition of Great Greys.
Good morning and welcome along to Great Greys on this Thursday, the 14th of November 2024. David Shortte with you. Looking forward to spending the next hour with you, talking all things greyhound racing around this great nation. We will be catching up with the Shane Train Williams. Unfortunately, no Jace Campbell today, but he has forwarded on his mail. We'll pass that on. We're catching up with the Hall of Famer Neil Brown. Of course, a massive night of chasing there on Friday at Sandown. One of my favourite races each and every year on the calendar is the Shootout, of course, taken out famously by Reggie Mite in the first ever year of the running of that race many, many years ago now. There's a strong WA link to that particular event, but of course, lots of other great racing to look forward to, and it's a wonderful edition of the Shootout as well this time around. Hector Foley, big energy, fresh off a hot win last week. Vincent Bale and also Blue Camaro, who we saw take out the $1 million chase only a few weeks ago. Let's get straight into it though and welcome in the Shane Train on this Thursday morning. Hello, Train.
Yeah, good morning, Shorty. Good morning, listeners. Good to have you back, great man, and back in health. And can't wait to get through today's program.
Absolutely, yeah. We missed, of course, last week with Oaks Day stepping in on the program, but we are looking forward to having a good chat about all of the different meetings going on around the place. Train, we'll start on this big program. We'll be catching up with Brownie soon, but a Friday night chasing there at Sandown. There is a lovely quaddie carryover for the punters to get involved with, races 5 through to 8. We've got Melbourne Cup preludes, and that race I just touched on, one of my favourite races on the calendar each year. It goes right back to Reggie Mite winning the first ever year of this event, and the Tab Touch market for this year's Shootout. Big energy for the Greenos, fresh off a stunning victory last week in sizzling time. It's the $2.30 favourite. Hector Foley, has been known to pop up in these big feature events, and of course will be really strong to the line. We've got Vincent Bale at $6, and the dog that we both saw live at Wentworth Park for $1 million chase night, taking out the big $1 million check, and of course causing a big upset in that particular event for Josh Formosa. And that is Blue Camaro, who's a $6.50 outsider. Reserves for the event in the hub, a $4.80 chance, and field day at $3.90. Each and every year, just the 4 runners. It's a unique event, but it's a great event, and it shapes up as being an absolute highlight. 6:50 WA time on Friday night. How do you see the Shootout being run and won this year, Train?
Yeah, Shorty, always a lot of conjecture, isn't there? With they've changed the format a couple of times. I remember the first couple of runnings, you had to spend $5,000 to get into the race, and the winner took all, and then they changed it, and then they've made exemption races and stuff like that. I think, I think you just got to pick the best 4 dogs, to get the best spectacle. You mentioned earlier, Shorty, about Reggie Mite winning the very first one. Well, there was a big thing. I think it might have only been 3 dogs back then, but there was a big thing that time frame was the short price favourite in that race, and a lot of people had the opinion of the small field suits the back markers, but I think he ran last in that race, Shorty. It's very hard to beat a dog that jumps in front and is running the hands off the clock. You have to be very exceptional to sort of get under it or get around it. So a lot of these races, Shorty, I think it's one on speed. The back markers just can't get into it because the dog's in front of running too quick a time. And I've really liked Blue Camaro since we've seen him at Wentworth Park, Shorty. You go back through his form, and before he went up to Wentworth Park, he ran 29.64 at the Meadows, leading all the way. He then went up to Wentworth Park and ran 3rd, and then in his semi-final, Shorty, he beat Power and Glory. He was probably the best dog in New South Wales at the time, and I see he's $1.75 to win a Melbourne Cup Prelude tonight, that Power and Glory. And then, of course, famously, he won the $1 million chase in very good fashion. And then last week in that Top Gun, Shorty, his one was unbelievable. You had to see it to believe it. He was last at the winning post the first time, and to get up and run second, it was unbelievable, massive run. And I think tonight's race, Shorty, the key is Vincent Bale. I think he's going to show speed, and cross the inside two dogs, and I think Blue Camaro could be sitting up outside him, and we know how strong he is, Shorty. We've seen that at Wentworth Park, and I just thought if Vincent Bale did lead, I think Blue Camaro is the dog to beat, and $6 is a great price to find out. However, if Hector Frawley or Big Energy were to lead, I don't think Blue Camaro could probably run one of them down. So with the key is we need Vincent Bale to spear and cross 1 on 3, and Blue Camaro to sit on Vincent Bale's hammer and then run him down late. That's how I see it. Did you have a thought?
I thought it was a great race, and I was really taken by the run of Big Energy last week. I thought the dog was right back to its best, breaking 29 seconds. Now, if it can step, it's going to beat Hector Frawley out. And it just comes down to what happens with Vincent Bale and Big Energy early. If Big Energy can punch up and hold the inside and run sub 29 again, well, it's like you say, it's almost impossible to run it down. But I mean, at the price differential, I'd be happy enough to back Big Energy and have a small saver bet on Blue Camaro to make sure that I'm not losing on the race.
Yeah, its run was. Did you see its run last start? It was an unbelievable run. I went back and watched the replay. It got beat 7 lengths by the winner, but just wasn't entitled to pick itself up and run second to go past all them good dogs to get into second spot. He's obviously going really well, and obviously we've seen that up in Sydney. So, yeah, very, very good race, very good spectacle. The sparks will be flying, but yeah, Blue Camaro at $6 for me. Very keen.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's going to be a hell of a race. Can't wait for it on Friday night. It'll be an absolute cracker, as it always is, the shootout each and every year. So can't wait to get around it. Be really another spectacle that we're very much looking forward to, and we'll get the thoughts of Neil Brown as well and see exactly what he wants to come up with in the big one. The rest of the card's really good. There's a quaddie carryover of I've touched on races 5 through to 8, but we've got some of Australia's best sprinters strutting their stuff right throughout the course of the program. In the first race, New South Wales visitor Good Odds Cobber takes on Fernando Phil, who we saw across here for the Sandgroper. Fred Rose has been in wonderful form of late. He once again looms as a great roving style bet in that particular race. Race 2, another of the Melbourne Cup preludes, and Hotel Whiskey 1. This horse won from this greyhound won from a wide draw last Saturday night at the Meadows in wonderful fashion. Absolutely jogged in. Anthony Azzopardi looks to have this dog really fired up and ready to go. But of course, we see the Adelaide Cup winner Scalacci there epitomise. Has been in stunning form for Brad Greeno. The South Australian visitor wears poppies in town. Mapunga Tully, Dr. Asher. That's another great prelude. We see Inconspicuous, another of the Azzopardi kennel going around in race number 3. Race number 4, another highlight on the card with Matlock, who has been a bit of a country cup style of dog, doing really good things there. Probably yet to see the very best of it. I think that the dog that appeals to me there on a Rove style basis is Silky Sauce. Never runs a bad race, this dog. Generally hits the frame at close to double figure odds. I thought it could be hitting the frame and giving a little bit of cheek in the quaddie legs. Joey the Jet draws box number 1 for Jason Thompson. Got the kennel absolutely flying at the moment. This dog's won 5 of 7. Transcendent, of course, from a WA perspective, goes around in this particular race and train a dog that you saw firsthand. It's got a great record in its short career to date. Paul Petrov has to overcome box number 8, but gee, it's been impressive in its brief career to date.
Yeah, he's very consistent, Shorty. He took that Adelaide Derby form home well with him when he got home, and he strung 3 or 4 in a row. One of them was up in Sydney, and he's going to be very hard to beat. I thought Succeed in that race for a roving style of play. He doesn't like winning, but he's a very fast dog, and he can chase a fast one. So he would be my roving play in race 5.
Yeah, good luck to the Shinners camp with Transcendent, dog with a big motor. Of course, we saw it firsthand as well there at Wentworth Park, taking out one of the features on $1 Million Chase Night. Race number 6, the 18th prelude of the Melbourne Cup, another really open fair, but Zipping Megatron's the dog that probably comes in with the big raps behind Excavation last time out when placed. Was, of course, runner-up behind Blue Camaro in the $1 Million Chase. Has to overcome box number 8 there. In race 7, the third leg of the quaddie, wow, there's some quality here. Power and Glory comes up with box number 1. a greyhound with a big engine, has been rolled at shortish prices, though. It got beaten by Miss Envy, of course, on $1 Million Chase night off box 1 when it was expected to win. Miss Envy, the West Aussie, goes around from box number 4 in this particular race. Ethanol Volume's been a real favourite of mine, and great to see My Anarchy Boy as well goes around from box number 8 here. Ad Smithson sending the dog across. So really, really deep interest from a WA perspective in race 7. It comes up at 6:08 on Friday night. Good luck to Miss Envy and also My Anarchy Boy, but they've drawn a deep heat here with the likes of Ethanol Volume and also Power and Glory in that particular race. And the last leg of the quaddie there, race number 8. Another tremendous lineup. Past the buck. Anthony as a party comes into the Melbourne Cup Series with some really hot sprinters at the moment. Past the buck is one of those. Buddy Manelli, who we've seen across in the West. Mapunga Reward for the Britain camp. Another really good dog. Read the Room draws the red for Karen Pitt. And Nangar Jim's been a wonderful campaigner. It's been placed 34 of 45 in its career and coming off a nice win at Sandown last time out. But it's a stunning 12-race card train. And can't wait to roll up the sleeves, of course, on Friday, where the Jet Set will be on the podcast again, and you'll be catching up with Corey Smith, who, of course, is coming off success himself last weekend. It was an absolutely spectacular result for him. It was potentially going to be a little bit of a controversial result because he was obviously sitting there and waiting to see what might happen with his very talented sprinter slash stayer, but things turned out quite nicely in the end for Corey and Jess Hopkins with Kenya All Class taking out the Group 1 Top Gun stayers. It was a great performance there last Saturday night, and we believe he's been celebrating long and strong ever since.
Yeah, hopefully we can get him on tomorrow and he'll be in a sober state to talk to us, Shorty, but why wouldn't you go out and celebrate a Group 1 win like that? It was great to see Corey and the other owners and also Jess with her maiden Group 1 win. And also the Thompsons took out the sprint one yet again. And Tommy Daly couldn't have the other Group 1 Shorty, the rookie Rebel. But just interesting, tomorrow night, Shorty, is your last chance to qualify for the Melbourne Cup. The heats are next week. So I think if you win a prelude, you're guaranteed to start in the heats. So a lot of dogs have left it late to try and get in, but this is their last chance on Friday night to get through to the big one, Shorty. It's probably the most sought-after race, I think, anywhere in Australia as a trainer would want to win the Melbourne Cup. So rich prize money on offer, and, hopefully get one there one day.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the dream, isn't it? I think everybody in the sport, like you say, I think probably the two races that really spring to mind are the Melbourne Cup and the Golden Easter Egg. For me, sort of following the sport for 30-odd years, they're the two races that each and every year, there's no shortcuts. You have to earn your way into the fields to get an opportunity, and then you have to win through. So, it's spectacular. Can't wait for it. But before that Friday night, it is the perfect entree heading into the Melbourne Cup. Our first race for broadcast through the Great Greys program today is the first at Mackay. It's 3 minutes away, punters. Get your bets on there. Quick look at the fixed odds market. Well held at $2.10 in from $2.15. Moet at midnight, $2.35 into $2.25 for the champagne lovers. Segoya has been $4.60 to $7. Under the shadow, bit of money at longer odds, $9.50 to $7.50. And then we're right out to the two outsiders of the field, Cluck 34 out to 71 and Imperial Blossom 34 out to $61. Got 2.5 minutes to get your bets on there for race number 1 at Mackay. Train, exciting night of chasing locally out there at Mandurah on Friday night. And from your perspective, super exciting because you have your very talented sprinter, Iconic Jet, going around in the first of the Young Stars Classic heats there on Friday night. Comes up with box number 8. The dog suffered a rare defeat last week from the box 8 over the 400 metres. Steps up to the 488 metres here where the dog has won 3 of 5. How's everything going with the pin-up boy of your kennel, Iconic Jet, heading into Friday night?
Yeah, he's had a good week, Shorty, and obviously last week he went down as a short price favourite, but take your punting hat off. Obviously the meeting the week before was called off at Northam, so he missed the run, and we were looking at trialling him on the Thursday, and I found that race. And Shorty, if I had trialled him, he would have went 22.10 or 22.15 and probably got nothing out of it. But putting him in that race, he got held out by Sunset Nightjar going into the corner. and his race was over. But he actually learned something from that, Shorty. He sort of cut back to the fence, and even though he got beat, as a trainer, I think he got a lot out of that race, learning not just jumping on the arm and winning. You got to do it tough some ways, and obviously 400 metres is not his go. So it was just a tune-up run for this week, and I've got to be honest with you, I'm not really happy with the draw. Box 8 on the 488 Ben start is not ideal, but yeah, we're in the lap of God is what he does early, so hopefully, fingers crossed, he can get over. He's nice and short. I see it's a bit ridiculous from box 8, but yeah, he's had a really good week, so all we can hope for is he gets the start right and can get a bit of luck into that first turn and qualify for the final and draw a bit better next week in the final if he does happen to make it, Shorty.
Absolutely. So looking forward to that. We've got heats of that classic race each and every year, and the Young Stars Classic Friday night there at Mandurah. And I'll tell you what, it does really underline the quality of young canines in this state right now. You go through, there's great depth in the majority of these heats. There's 5 of them, races 1 through to 5 to kick off the program there Friday night at Mandurah. Outside of that first of the heats, was there anything else that caught your eye, Train? We've got about 30 seconds to get your bets on here for race number 1, Mackay Punters. They're moving in quite nicely here.
No, I just thought they were good races Friday night. The markets have gone up thanks to Tab Touch nice and early, so if you want to have an early play, you could. And 3 heats of the chase. It's probably the best 400-metre dogs we've got here, which is a good little local tune-up for the Birthday Cup coming up soon, and 5 heats of the young stars. There's some stars missing, obviously Miss Envy, Transcendent, and Bezeki not there, but still good quality there for sure.
You're listening to Great Greys on Tab Radio.
Well, it's now 21 minutes after 10. We're catching up with the Shane Train Williams, getting his thoughts on greyhound racing over the next couple of days. But, prior to the big Friday and Saturday nights here locally, we've got Northam chasing to look forward to this evening. It's a later start time, punters. Bear that in mind, given the warmer weather there in Northam today. The meeting's been set back. The first race now set to be run at 6:56 this evening, and the last on a 10-race program at 9:38 tonight. Train, no doubt you've had a good look at this program this evening. Who have you come up with for the punters?
Yeah, interesting enough, Shorty, I spoke to the graders just a bit before, and looks like at this stage we continue to go ahead up there tonight at Northam, so that's good news for everyone involved. And yeah, I'm going to kick it off early, Shorty. Race 2, number 2, Thumbs Up Noah, trained by Dave Brown. He's been a bit costly to follow in recent times, but this really does look his race to bounce back into the winners list. He hasn't shown that good early speed for a little while, but there's not a lot of speed drawn around him here tonight, so he gets a great opportunity to break back into the winners list tonight. Race 2, number 2, Thumbs Up Noah.
All right, so Thumbs Up Noah for Dave Brown to get the job done early on in the card. We go a bit later into the program for your next 2.
Yeah, race 9, number 1, Wise Move, trained by Michael Hine. He's really gone great going since the move from Victoria. He's run a place his last 5 starts, Shorty, and 3 of them have been wins. He's got good early speed, and I just think from that box he can boot up and hold the lead from the pole and be hard to run down. Race 9, number 1, Wise Move. All
right, race 9, number 1, Wise Move for for Tracy Hine, pardon me, to get the job done there tonight off box number 1. $2.05 on the fixed odds market with Tab Touch, firm at that quote. And what would only leave us one more race, race number 10. It's the free-for-all over the 297 metres. Just the 7 runners here, pay 1 and 2 only. Which way are you headed here, Train? Because we see Simplicity in box number 3, who's been a winning machine at Northern, winning 19 of 28 with a further 6 placings, taking on the up-and-coming sprint star there at Northern, Go Get 'em Herbie, who was a good winner of the free-for-all last time out and has had 11 starts, track and trip, 5 wins, 3 seconds.
Well, just that previous race, I'm glad Tracy's training that dog. She's a much better trainer than Michael, so that gives me more confidence there, Shorty. In this race, I'm going to go with Go Get 'em Herbie, the newcomer, Shorty. I'll probably get egg on my face, but tipping against Simplicity, he's an absolute star. Just love the fact this dog's drawn out in 8, Shorty. He can 4 starts for 3 wins, loves the ferry floss, can burn down the outside, and he can stay out of trouble when you draw 8. He got that long run to the first turn, and we were on him last week, and I know it's a step up in grade tonight, but I just like the way he's going. And Kennel's in form as well, so I'll make him the best for the night, Shorty. And like I said, we could get egg on our face. Simplicity's a rock star up there, but just like the way this dog's going. Race 10, number 8, Go Get 'em Herbie.
From this very draw 3 starts ago, around 16.89. That is a very, very slick performance. So a very good pointer to the fact that the dog's comfortable from the draw, and if it can be running anything like that sort of time, it'll be very hard to beat. On that occasion, it actually defeated Simplicity. So gets the opportunity from the floss draw tonight to go well once again, and it's the train's best. We wait till the last race 10, number 8, due to go at 9:38 this evening there at Northam to go along with race 2, number 2, Thumbs Up Noah, and race 9, number 1, Wise Move. Beautifully done, Shano. Appreciate your time as always here on Great Greys. We'll hear from you tomorrow morning with Digby and Tim just after 6:30 on the Sports Daily on TAB Radio, and then of course tomorrow with the Jet Set podcast. Until then, many winners and good luck tonight there at Northam.
Yeah, thanks, Shorty. Just before I go, Shorty, there's a couple of series up at Albion Park tonight, and we see race 4, number 2, the Wentworth Park track record holder. He's $1.30, Shorty, and Cody's dog in box 1 does the biggest right-hand turn at the start you've ever seen. So anyone looking to take the short odds about Dalwhinnie tonight, just be very careful at the start, because I've spoken to Cody as well, and it's had a trial up there and done exactly the same thing, a massive right-hand turn at the start. So, yeah, just beware of that one, Shorty. All the best.
Yeah, that's page 1 news. And, of course, Dalwhinnie, the greyhound drawn on the outside, is the track record holder there at Wentworth Park, running an absolutely ridiculous 29.03 from box number 2. So there'll be plenty of people looking to get involved there. Just maybe tread a little warily at that $1.32 quote, given that page 1 news could be using a bit of the track early doors. Good on you, Shane. Appreciate your time as always.
All the best, punters.
There we have it, the Shane Train Williams with us here on TAB Radio. Matty, we'll throw back to you. We should probably have the divvies for the first of the day there, runner 1 at Mackay.
And it was taken out by Under the Shadow, 770 and 350. Well held 110, no div Segoya, 880 Quinella, 30.90 the exacta, $86.70 trifecta, 4132 first for $125.80, and there were no scratchings. 3 minutes now to the opening race at Ballarat. The field are at the start. And first leg of the quaddie, 41 grand in, it's Charlie Messy Hair at $2.80. And fix 370 into 290, and 10:30 is start time.
This is your home of the Greyhound Good Oil, Great Greys.
Well, we welcome in the Hall of Famer Neil Brown on this Thursday morning, fresh off a comedy cruise. I'll be very interested to see whether he's still got his tummy in one piece after all of that belly laughing. Brownie, welcome to you. How was the comedy cruise?
Yes, it was terrific, David. Very entertaining indeed. 3 days of some of the top comics in Australia, and I really enjoyed it, and even enjoyed the karaoke even more, David. Pumped out a couple of songs there over the 3-day period, so we had a great time.
Excellent. Any Elvis classics?
As usual, Dave, it's part of the repertoire.
Oh, magnificent, magnificent. I'd love to get a bit of vision of that, Brownie, but you do know how to capture an audience very swiftly. That sounds like a lot of fun. Tomorrow night's meeting's going to be absolutely phenomenal at Sandown. We've got a couple of minutes before we go to our next race for broadcast here. We might start with a helping hand, maybe an opportunity to build a bank for tonight's program there at Ballarat, Brownie. And then we'll focus in after that race on this wonderful night of chasing at Sandown tomorrow night.
Yeah, thought I found a couple late, always challenging the Tier 3 meetings at Ballarat for the night meeting tonight. I thought in race 11 maybe Burn Bank Flyer from box number 4 there. The 7's come out, so it's got an empty box and a 2 empty boxes with the 5 and the 7 out, and I think it might be able to get the money tonight. Had quite a number of starts and was successful at the start before last at Bendigo in a grade 5. So it drops into Tier 3 class tonight. So at the odds, about $6 at the moment, David. It's a chance. And in the last, the greyhound drawn in box number 1, I think over 390, can jump to the front and lead Selman Spray. It's about the 250 mark. Last up winner here has won off the red box at Ballarat in 22.52. So I've got it as a possible winner tonight, jumping to the front from the red in the last at Ballarat. So we've got to wait till late there, races 11 and 12, Dave.
You are tuned into Shorty and the team on Great Greys.
Well, we're catching up with Neil Brown. We're about to roll up the sleeves and get into this phenomenal program at Sandown on Friday night. Of course, the feature race being the shootout over the 515 metres there. wonderful field engaged. Big Energy, Hector Fawley, Vincent Bale, Blue Camaro, all the big names are there. It's going to be epic. It harks right back to the inaugural running of this race where the West Aussie Reggie Might was able to get the job done in the first ever running of this race. One of my favourite all-time race calls, and it's iconic. The great Ronnie Hawkswell, bang, they're off in the shootout. It brings back wonderful memories. Brownie, this is, I'm sure, one of your favourite races on the calendar each and every year. We've drawn together a wonderful quartet of runners for the feature there tomorrow night.
Yes, well, it's had a few different forms and a few different restrictions put on it over the years and different levels of prize money. It's a race that's always had a bit of controversy around it, and I think this year's panel's taken a bit of stick over the last couple of days. I was a part of the panel, and I think the betting agencies, David, have been a little disrespectful having the two reserves a shorter price than two of the runners, but that's okay. We can wear that. You've been on plenty of panels, haven't you, David, over the years? It's all... It can be divided and divided in opinion, and that's why we have them. So, Big Energy, last year's winner. He went sensational last week and just ran himself into the race. And we saw what he was doing about this time last year. He was the hot dog at the time and unlucky in the Melbourne Cup, but shootout winner in a scintillating run in the heat of the Melbourne Cup. So I think he wins again, but Hector Fawley does nothing wrong. He's always charging home, and Vincent Bale's been in great form. And the X Factor's Blue Camaro and a super run in the Top Gun, wasn't he, David? So yeah, it is a good solid field, and we'll see what the outcome will be.
It'll be a beauty. Prior to that, though, we've got the early quaddie, and also watch out for that lovely quaddie carryover races 5 through to 8, $25,000 jackpot into the Super Tab pools there, so make sure you get involved there, punters. Take us through your thoughts, though, for the early quaddie and the main quaddie, Brownie, and all of these races are Melbourne Cup preludes, so they are dripping with class.
Yes, their last chance to make the heats next Friday night, Friday week, tomorrow night, so... This is their chance to make it through and get a crack at the heats of the Melbourne Cup. So race one, I made it 3:47. I've got Fernando Phil on top. I think that early speed might serve him well. But it is open. Definitely chances to the other greyhounds. Freddie Rose is always storming home. And Good Odds Cobber's got good New South Wales form. Nice last start winner at Ballarat, 25.36. Fernando Phil got him on top. Race number 2, I'm taking 6, 8 and 7 going to the outside draws here. The Queenslander on top. Hotel Whiskey 1. Got some early speed. Pretty impressive last start at the Meadows with a 29.78 win. It's got some nice form behind it, this greyhound. I think it's the one to beat. But you can't put a knock on Scalacci either in this race. So, yeah, 6, 8 and 7 for me. Race number 3, third leg of the early quad. I made it 5, 1 and 4. Pretty tough race. I'm a Mustang. She's in great form. She's coming off the Geelong Oaks and then a very impressive win here last week. She's got a good record at Sandown, 4 and 6 from 13. And I think she's the one to beat with that early speed. I'm a Mustang in race number 3. Race number 4, pretty even bunch here. I'm going to tip Bo Rhapsody on top. I think he's probably due for a win. He just needs a little bit of luck in running. I don't think the red makes that much difference between the way he comes out. Certainly chances to Silky Sauce and the 2 as well, Matlock. I think they're well in this race. Very, very open. I'm taking 1, 4 and 2. Getting into the main quaddie, prelude number 17. Very hard race. I've extended this to 4 runners, 1, 5, 4 and 8. I think they've all got a chance. Joey the Jet comes off the red box. He's only had the 7 starts. Very inexperienced greyhound. He's won 5 of those. He showed a lot of early pace up until his last 2 starts where he's tumbled out of boxes and finished up running a place in both of those. I think Transcendent, the Western Australian for the Shinners Kennel, is in good form, racing okay. Succeed has won here in fast time, and I think Paul Petroff from box number 8, if he can get a crack at him, is also a bit of a chance. So wide open race, 1, 5, 4 and 8 in the first league for me tomorrow night. Race number 6, interesting race. Finished up taking 1, 8 and 5. Got Amron Tiger on top. Probably per medium of the draw. The pink runner is Zipping Megatron. Got a good, solid New South Wales race form here coming into the race. First start here at Sandown Park. So got to see how it goes. I think Champagne Cuddle got some sort of a claim in the race from box number 5. One here in 29 and 48. But they're pretty even and a pretty good race. Race number 6, 1, 8 and 5. Race number 7, 1, 3, 4 for me here. I've got Power and Glory on top. It's short, but it's pretty hard to overlook. I think from that red box draw, it's in very good form, and I think best of night last start winner. The others have got chances in the race. Dundee Rebel, he's an old campaigner, but plenty of wins here on the track. And Miss Envy, of course, the National Sprint Championship, the Western Australian. She's got a stack of ability, and wouldn't surprise me to see her bob in this race. So interesting. Thirdly, the quaddie 1, 3 and 4. Coming home, rounding it off in race number 8 with prelude number 20. And I've gone 8, 7, 1. I've got Past the Buck on top. Anthony has a party's kennels flying at the moment. Impressive win in 29.31. He's got some early place. And I think it might be the greyhound to beat Past the Buck. But Buddy McNally and Manelli, he's a very, very versatile greyhound. As we know, he's won over all distances. He's always a chance. I think he's comes in with some sort of claims in this race. And off the red, Read the Room is well boxed in box number 1 with a chance for Karen Pitt. So 8, 7 and 1 to round the quaddie off. Pretty tough night, David, but certainly plenty of winners there, isn't there? Looking for something maybe later on. Race 11, I think Pretty Hot can win from well drawn in box number 2 for Jerry O'Keefe. So we might have a little bit on hit it at odds in race 11, number 2, Pretty Hot, as maybe an each-way special for us on what's going to be a very big night of racing at Sandown Park tomorrow night.
Beautifully done, Brownie. Thank you very much for your time, and quite fitting you leave us with Pretty Hot. That's what you've been today, your good self. Appreciate your time as always here on TAB Radio. Enjoy a wonderful night of chasing there on Friday, and look forward to our chat again this time next week.
Will do, David. Thanks, mate.
You're listening to Great Greys on TAB Radio.
Well, it's time to head across to South Australia, catch up with Sean Matheson for a look at all things SA Chasing, the Festival of Fire just around the corner, and of course a very good night of chasing to look forward to at Angle Park this evening. Heats of the Brian Johnston over the 530 metres, drawn together some nice types for that program tonight. Welcome to you, Sean.
Yeah, hi, David. Yeah, great to be on the show again this week. And as you mentioned, our feature racing well and truly continues after the Adelaide Cup and the Gawler Cup. And next month we head towards our Festival of Fire, which is a little bit of a play on words, a little bit with the Phoenix, when a few years ago, unfortunately, South Australia didn't get a slot in the Phoenix, but that's okay. We're sort of running our own sort of races here for our local participants, so they're getting full advantage of the increased money in a few weeks' time. But as you mentioned tonight, we've got those semi-finals of the Brian Johnston, which produces many, many wonderful young greyhounds over the years. And the 2 semi-finals tonight are excellent races for our young up-and-coming SA-bred dogs.
All right, well, let's get your thoughts on this particular program. See if we can't find a few winners. Who are you keen on tonight?
Well, I'm keen on actually in the first semi-final of the Brian Johnston, and it's race 5, number 6, Mally Beauty for Damien Smith, and his kennel's been in red-hot form recently. She won her heat very impressively last week from a wide draw in 30.72. She missed the start, and she showed terrific acceleration to be in front into the back straight. And she is a dog that can begin. 3 runs ago, she led in a 5.20 first split, going 30.45. If she doesn't need to begin, it would help if she does. It just more so guarantee the race. But she's a really exciting prospect. She's won 6 of her 8 starts, and I expect her to win again.
Nice. Mally Beauty to get us up and rolling tonight. Punters race 5, number 6 for Damien Smith to continue on that great winning strike rate. Second of your plays tonight, Sean?
Second of the plays, be second of my best bets. Comes up in actually race 10, and it's number 1, 1, 2 Me. Quoted about $6, which I think is an amazingly good price for this greyhound. 2 runs ago, beat Darcy Dakota in a heat of the Lee Rogers, running 30.67, and then ran 5th in the final, no luck early, and was seen running home very well. Steps up to the 5.95 for the first time, as a number of these greyhounds sort of are doing. It's only a small field, but drawn box 1 will not lead. It will be hopefully 3rd or 4th, just on the rail, but its last section and this step up in journey is really going to be key for this greyhound. So I think at $6, he is a wonderful bet for tonight.
All right, nice value about race 10, number 1, to me. And the third play tonight at Angle Park?
Third play is, again, on a bit of an each-way value, and it's in race 9, and it's number 4, Time After Time, for Tim Richards, the outsider of the field. But the two favourites, Daintree Tiger, ran 5th last start over 5.95, a bit not that impressive, and the favourite Springvale Brays drawn 8, really the wrong side of the track for it. Go right back 2 runs ago, Time After Time ran 43.40 in winning at Angle Park, and I reckon that's the time that's going to get the job done tonight. So he ran 5th last start over 5.95, but he does mix his journey, and he's just a dog that just keeps going. So I expect him just to land on speed. He might hit a flat spot mid-race, but I reckon he gets home pretty well. So at the $17 in a 5-dog field, you can't go far wrong with him.
All right, worth a spec.
Sorry, with her.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll get around her at start number 99 tonight. There, she's 123 with a further 29 placings and was a winner over this trip 2 starts ago of a free-for-all, defeating Warringah Bale. So let's hope we can get Time After Time up for a big result. $17 the win, $3.40 the place. One for the Cindy Lauper fans in race number 9. Murray Bridge Friday, Gawler Sunday. Anything there for the punters, Sean?
Yeah, so look at Murray Bridge tomorrow. Race 5, number 1, Dakota Mila. She went around in the heats of the Brian Johnson last week. She got run out. 2 runs ago, she ran 30.63 at Angle Park. Drawn box 1 at Murray Bridge. She's got really good early speed, so I expect her to run really, really well and be really hard to beat. And then off to Gawler on Sunday night. Race 8, number 3, Victor Marley for Ron Shadow. Again, she's been a wonderful chaser for a long period of time. She's in a really winnable race here. She should show her class and get the job done for us on Sunday night.
Excellent. Race 5, number 1, Dakota Mila on Friday at Murray Bridge, and then rounding it out, Gawler Sunday, race 8, number 3, Victor Marley. Beautifully done, Sean. Appreciate your time as always here on Great Greys. Enjoy your weekend upcoming. We'll chat again next week.
Terrific, David. We'll talk then.
This is your home of the Greyhound Good Oil, Great Greys.
Our great mate Simon Orchard joins us to have a look at all things New South Wales chasing. Hello, Simon. How do we find you today?
Shorty, great, mate. It's great indeed. Went to Park in about 2 hours to do some coverage from trackside tonight, mate. Something different. So keep your eye out if you're having a wager across one of the wagering platforms in particular, because we'll be there trackside trying to give you some of the best oil. Something I don't know if we've ever done or haven't done for a long time, mate. So looking forward to that tonight down at headquarters at Wenty Park.
All right, thedogs.com.au, the spot for all of that activity. Do a wonderful job there promoting the caper in New South Wales. About a minute to go until they jump here in the first at Port Macquarie punters. We can make a start on some Thursday night bets of note, afternoon/night. Simon, what have we got on the radar for Thursday punters?
Yeah, of course, Shorty. 9-1 up the Richmond Straight. Billy Army, I think, is a dog you can back with confidence and get your day off to a good start if you haven't had a bet yet. So 9-1 up the Richmond Straight. And then Casino later on, 3 heats of the Casino Cup. So Group 3 event worth $25,000 to the winner. Spoke to a bloke by the name of Chris Field this morning. He's got a good hand. He's got Masani Girl jumping from box 1 in race 8. So 8-1 Masani Girl, a favourite, absolute track and trip specialist. He did query the box over that trip for her, but he did say if she jumps and leads like she can, they won't catch her. So 8-1 Billy Army. Then there's another one in the 10th, 10-2, Dad's Last Run. There's a ripping story just quickly before the thoroughbreds go here. Basically, Chris and a bloke called Daryl Bates reared and raised this litter. Sadly, though, Shorty, Daryl Bates passed away unexpectedly last year. His son, Darren, and the other kids took over the dog. They named it Dad's Last Run in honour of their father, Daryl. And Chris reckons it's the best of his chances today, and that's saying something considering Masani Girl's about $1.90 favourite in race number 8. So 8-1 Masani Girl, 10-2 Dad's Last Run.
You are tuned into Shorty and the team on Great Greys.
Well, we're catching up with Simon Orchard, looking at all things New South Wales chasing. Sorry to have to chop you off there. Simon, you were telling us so, race 8, number 1, Masani Girl, and race 10, number 2, Dad's Last Run. I was sorry to have to chop in because it's a really nice story. That obviously this dog had meant so much to the connections with Darren Bates, as you explained on the way through there. And the dog's actually well above average, 22 starts for 14 wins and 4 placings. So it's put together a great record.
Yeah, you're spot on, mate. Don't apologise at all. That's the world we live in. But look, I think the big tick for that dog in the 10th today, Magistrate, who's one of my favourite greyhounds in any state, runs around and has been scratched from box 4. So I know Chris Field had a big query over whether his dog could beat Magistrate, but it comes out. The race is still full of quality. Dino Way ran in the final last year. Spirit Boy comes off the Mid-North Coast Cup win last week at Taree. But I just think Dad's Last Run, and you hit the nail on the head, it's got great form and it's got a really good track and trip PB. So box 2 suits. We know Casino, you're on the same leg the whole way round, and if you can get near the fence and on the arm, you're really hard to get past. So 8-1 and 10-2, back to field runners with confidence. Tonight at Wenty Park, 8-8. This race has been hit by scratchings, but I still love Cunningham, a full brother to Power and Glory for Kenny Burnett. And this dog's not quite as good, but certainly got some ability. So 8-8, Cunningham, the best on the program tonight at Wenty. And if you want to have a Dapto multi, 4-8 Rosebery Hustler into 6-6 Lure Detective. Rosebery Hustler, below what it used to be a year ago, was unbeatable at Dapto over the shorts, but still running some good races and boxed well out wide. So 4-8 and multi it up with 6-6 Lure Detective. If you want to have a bet tomorrow night as well, Shorty, the Bidgie Cup final down there at Wagga, 25 grand, Group 3 event. There's a dog by the name of Total Faith, 6-1 Total Faith, 14 starts, a track and trip for 10 wins. It's the fastest dog early, about 5:25, 5:28 sort of areas to the first mark. And if it can lead, I just don't know how they can beat it. They were putting up 450 this morning, and I thought that was stealing. So I reckon Total Faith's the dog to beat, and back it at a pretty good price as well.
Magnificent. Race 6, number 1, Friday there at Wagga. Total Faith, you can get around. It's Wentworth Park Saturday night. We'll be watching and, of course, following thedogs.com.au, and, of course, a host of New South Wales stars across in Victoria. That program we just went through with Neil Brown, Melbourne Cup preludes, and also the shootout there on Friday night. And plenty of New South Wales stars that will be shooting the lights out on Friday night at Sandown as well there, Simon.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Just a quick bet, and also a big moment for the sport, a sad moment for the sport. Debbie Coleman passed away earlier this week, 61 years old. There's a Valet Debbie Coleman race Saturday night at Wenty Park. It's the 6th on the card. It's a good race. Ritza Smoke, Nengar Larry, Sammy Ethan all going around as well. But I just thought I'd make a quick mention of that, and a shout out to Kayla Jane, her daughter, and the rest of the kids, because it's come too early, Shorty. She's based in Victoria now, but she was a mainstay of the Nowra program, the Shoalhaven area down here in New South Wales. She had every job there was known to man or woman down at that place. She's going to be sorely missed, so valet to her.
Indeed, and thoughts are certainly with the family at this really tough time. She's much loved within our industry Australia-wide. It's people like that have really carried the industry for many years, tireless workers within the sport. Tremendous catching up with you today, Simon. Appreciate your time as always. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your chasing, and we'll catch up again this time next week. We'll be following all the action there, thedogs.com.au for all the latest.
Cheerio, Shorty. Have a good day, mate. Hooroo.
Good man, Simon Orchard joining us here on a Great Greys. We're not too far away from our next race for broadcast. It is at Mackay, only a minute away. Woodstock Rock, our $2.20 favourite on the fixed in front of Travelling Sweet at $2.25. Markets identified those as the key players. Woodstock Rock 170 out to $2.20. Money's been there for Travelling Sweet, $3.20 to $2.25. All other runners $13 and upwards. Just quickly, Jace Campbell has forwarded on his tips for tonight at Albion Park. Race 5, number 8, Autumn Storm. Race 6, number 2, Wreck James. And his best, race 8, number 5, More Than Money. That's 586285 tonight at Albion Park. And his 2 plays at Hobart this evening. He's buckling up. So race 4, number 7, Buckle Up Kirk. And race 8, number 8, Buckle Up Alfie. So Hobart 4, 7, 8-8, the two plays tonight there for Jace Campbell. That brings to a close Great Greys on this Thursday, the 14th of November. We'll swing back to the main man, Matty McDermott, who as always has been absolutely spectacular putting the show together. Matty, to your good self and everybody tuned in, enjoy the remainder of your Thursday. Wishing you many winners, and look forward to catching up with you over the next couple of days there at TAB Radio.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelpline.org.au.